Hello children, welcome to the YouTube channel Guru of Social. Today's our topic is about class 6 Penamakuru continued with the subheading houses. It is purely trying to explain about the settlements of the people in the Penamakuru village. So, how actually the settlements are being preferred by the Penamakuru village people. Settlements in Penamakuru are in following ways. High proportion or maximum percentage of landlords. Yesterday we discussed about ownership and tenancy. In that almost some 10 families are having the land holding capacities more than 10 acres and 150 families are having less than 5 acres. So this proportion of landlords are living in the main village. So landlords have preferred their settlements in the main village. And the remaining proportion of the people, when you consider, if you are taking the village here, what they are trying to explain, on the banks of Bandar Canal, and among the south of village, the other proportion of the people have given their settlements. So main proportion of the landlord settlements are within the main village. Other proportion of the people settlements on the banks of Bandar Canal and even on the south of the village. Coming to the middle of the village. Who preferred the settlements among the middle of the village here? Many. We can prefer the settlements of the people who are running kirana shops. Okay. Next, we can take medical shops. Settlements of people who are running medical shops. RMP doctors settlements. You can even refer them as Sudi Mandu doctor in the villages. And even iron welding shops. The people who are preferring the blacksmith as their occupation. Even we can take here tiffin centers. Like that, the middle of the Penamakuru village settlements are preferred by the people who are running kirana shops, medical shops, RMP doctors, blacksmiths, tiffin centers, etc. So are you clear about the settlements of the people in the Penamakuru village? In the main village, the settlements are preferred by the landlords on the banks of Bandar Canal, on the southern parts of the villages, and in the middle of the village. These are the settlements of the people. Now it's a time to discuss about the other occupations carried by the people, like for example if you are taking basket weaving, okay, animal rearing, so first of all, when we are taking basket weaving, on the banks of Bandar Canal, we have discussed they have some people who have preferred the settlement. So most of the basket weavers, they have actually preferred the settlements on the banks of Bandar Canal. So who are here? Basket weavers. So these people who have settled on the banks of Bandar Canal, actually they prefer the occupation of weaving baskets. So these people, for the purpose of work, they have given their migration towards the village. Yes, they gave the migration. What do you mean by migration? moving from one place to another place can be defined as migration. So, the basket weavers who have preferred their settlements on the banks of Bandar Canal on the purpose of basket weaving work. They gave their migration. They moved from banks of Bandar Canal towards the village. For what? For work. So, depending on the work, the sale of the baskets will be encouraged. So, that's the reason the basket weavers, they have given their migration from the banks of Bandar Canal over the village. So, here, for example, if you are taking, there was a person named Jagannatha Nancharaya. So, this man, he goes every day to the banks of Bandar Canal to collect the strands of date palm tree. Strands are nothing but, you know, the structure of the date palms. The stem structures are going to be like this, right? So these are the spines which are considered as the main branches of the date palm, along with these strands. So these are the raw material which they have used for basket weaving. So to collect the strands of the date palm, every day the Nancharaya used to go for the banks of Bandar Canal and collect them and prefer the occupation basket weaving. Along with him, his wife, she will also work together with her husband, and merely 5 to 6 baskets can be expected per day. Are you clear? And the neighbor of Jagannatha Nancharaya, Katta Shivaya, this man, he preferred actually catching the fishes. His profession was catching fishes. So how did he prefer this profession? He used to trap them by using basket traps. And both of them together, they used to go nearby the villages for having the sale of their baskets by Nancharaya as well as fishes by Katta Shivaya. In this way, they have carried the basket weaving and catching of fishes. Even rearing of pigs, catching fishes, weaving the baskets, catching the rats, etc. And then animal rearing, if you consider. What do you mean by animal rearing? Rearing means what? The method of feeding or grazing the respective domestic animals for agricultural purposes as well as for other purposes, and taking care of their growth. A complete nurture process of the animals can be defined as animal rearing. Giving them food and growing them, in the simple words, can be defined as animal rearing. So, coming to the animal rearing, why it became little bit tough for the animal rearers in Penamakuru? Because maximum proportion of the land in Penamakuru was used for cultivating the crops. Means most of them are agricultural lands. So, I can have a conclusion here that with the previous content that we are using maximum proportion of the lands for agriculture or cultivating the crops, I think no much land is left over for grazing of the animals. That's the reason I think the people who are living in this village, they preferred very few bullocks, cows, buffaloes, sheep, etc. to be reared as an animal rearing occupation. And what for they have used this process to be continued of that little proportion also for agricultural purposes. If you are taking bullocks, if you are taking cows, if you are taking buffaloes, what for they will be used for agricultural purposes when they plow the land, right? When they prefer any transportation from one place to another place. Cows and buffaloes mostly prefer to extract the milk, and that can be again been processed to enjoy other produces. And even sheep, when you are going to consider, why they rear the sheep? Mostly for meat, or else for they can take the skin and fur of these animals like sheep and prefer that as a raw material for the factories who will prepare the commodities like leather bags, sweaters, etc. So animal rearing was being proposed to very minimized level. And coming to the next level, it's a time to discuss about agro-based industries. What are those? First one, we shall take the poultry farm. What do you mean by poultry farm? The place where the hens are being reared. The hens are being reared. So how it is going on in the poultry farm about rearing of hens? It is fully mechanized. They are saying that it is fully mechanized. How it is fully mechanized? Means the application of human labor is very less. Everything is running on its own with the help of some electric devices. So how it is fully mechanized here? Let us see. Supply of water. How water is supplied here? Yes. Water is supplied through nipples. How the food is supplied for the hens? Conveyors are used. You may get it out. What are these nipples and what are the conveyors? For example, if you are taking, please try to assume it as the two levels of placing the hens. Consider this and refer them as hens. So here they are arranging at the top the nipple like structures. So that they can have the supply of water through these nipples. And food, coming to the food arrangement, they are arranging a moving belt which runs on electric power. So that belt will be moved on this moving wheel with the help of electric power. So the arrangement of the belts which runs on electric power can be considered as a conveyor. So they will arrange the bowls of food on these conveyor belts which move automatically and will be placed in front of the hens and they can get fed. So this way we can completely explain about how the poultry farms are fully mechanized. So in the poultry farm of Penamakuru, merely 80,000 of hens are being reared which will lay nearly 50,000 of eggs per day. What are doing these eggs? They are sending them to the nearby areas like Vijayawada and as well as to the nearby states also like Assam, Bihar, etc. And coming to the one more produce which is available from the hens, that is you call it as chicken dropping. Yes, the wastage of the chickens which can be used to be sold for the farmers in the village who will consider this as a fish feed. So the waste of hens is considered as chicken dropping and that chicken drop is sold by the owners of the poultry farms to the farmers who will consider the feed of the fishes. So this chicken dropping is going to be considered as fish feed which will be sold out to the farmers in the Penamakuru village. Now it's a time to discuss about, yes, poultry farm is completed. Next, what you are expecting? Rice mill. Very good. So there is one rice mill in Penamakuru village. What the owner of this Penamakuru village rice mill owner is doing here? He is actually purchasing. What he is purchasing? Paddy. From whom? From the farmers of Penamakuru. And what he is doing with this paddy? He will convert that paddy and extract the rice as the final produce. And this rice he will sell for maximum price to gain more profit. Where he will sell? In the nearby villages, towns, cities, or even if possible when he is getting good demand of his rice in the market, he will even prefer the other states. So now these two industries like poultry farm or rice mill, whatever you are taking, they are based on agriculture. So based on agriculture, these two factories are running. One is poultry farm. The hens feed will be mostly, why you are considering poultry as an agro-based industry means how the hens are reared. Their feeding will be mostly natural. If you run the poultry farms based on the natural feed for the hens, which we are extracting from the agricultural based areas like corn, you have an idea of corn, wheat, broken rice, which you call it as talu in Telugu. So these are the major natural feeds which are being considered by the poultry farm owners to feed their hens. So definitely we can consider it is based on the agriculture only. And coming to the rice mill also, you see children, the owner is trying to purchase the paddy. Where did we get this paddy? From agricultural fields. So both the industries are based on agriculture. So that's why we can call them as agro-based industries. Agro-based industries. Now are you clear about poultry farms and rice mill? Now it's a time here to discuss about road, transport and markets. So what they are actually telling about the road, transport and markets? Roads are well developed, children. Why you are confirming this that they are well developed? Because the roads which are laid in the Penamakuru village are connecting the nearby towns and cities. When they are highly connected with the nearby towns and cities and well laid road projects, the farmers can have a hope of carrying the agricultural produce to the nearby towns and cities where they are having a great demand of their agricultural produce, which may help them in gaining more profit, the extraction of more revenue. And coming to the markets are also actually becoming profitable markets. Yes, how they are becoming profitable? Because of good road transport facilities. So with this we can also even explain the people who are actually depending on the road transport, they make the markets to be profitable. Even they have explained by taking some examples. When you are taking the farmers who are producing vegetables, sugarcane, the commercial crops, what they are doing? They are going to the nearby Raitu Bazars, which are located in Buyuru as well as Vijayawada, and having good profit. And like that, in the same way, if you are taking paddy, which is produced in Penamakuru extensively, the sale of paddy is going on within the village through the brokers or business agents who works on commission. So you can even use the word commission agents also. So in this way, they are making the use of road transport and making the markets profitable. Are you clear? Yes. And coming to the next topic, laborers, availability of labor. So coming to the point, most of them, if we observe throughout the lesson conversation, whatever we have discussed, we cannot find the people on a larger extent who are waiting for the employment or some work, because everyone is engaged in different occupations. Yes, so we cannot find maximum number of people who are in search of any work or employment. Some of them are based on agriculture as a profession. Some of them have going with the preference of animal rearing, basket weaving, poultry farms, rice mills. Some are working as laborers in rice mills, poultry farms. Even some people who don't have lands also, they are taking lands on lease and rent. Like that, they are going with the proceeding of their works. If at all we focus the village Penamakuru only requires some more labor from the nearby villages. So that's happening also. And the people who are having good qualification like minimum with the 10th pass or 11th, 12th pass, they are preferring small occupations like electricians, car drivers, etc. Are you clear about this lesson now? If you are having any doubts, please put in the comment box. I am going to clarify your doubts. Okay children, thank you. Please like, share and subscribe my channel for more information to be extracted from my side. Thank you.